you. Thanks for having me here. This is pretty exciting. I haven't had such a exercise of mind at this early hour on a Monday morning for sure. So this was enriching for me. In terms of what I have to present today, it was about hybrid workspaces, and it was about the fact that what is it in store for us in the near future in terms of how the offices would look and what would it entail. But I did get some feedback from Kanchan to say that most of it might be applicable for larger corporations, and how do we set this for startups or for owner-led businesses? How do we navigate this through? So I would like this more to be conversational, have your thoughts as we move through this whole deck, so that we can make it more meaningful. So last year, in fact, last year, we did this exercise of figuring out what was the aspects that people were missing when they were working from home, and this remains even effective today. Is the face-to-face interaction and ability to collaborate. So while everything else, if they have a decent amount of space available in the house to actually conduct their business, they still miss face-to-face interactions and ability to collaborate with their own colleagues. And this has been the biggest problem that work from home hasn't been able to solve. Technology should have come to rescue, but we've seen that technologies remain the way it had been earlier. And it hasn't been able to solve for this problem itself. Now, what is exactly the problem? The problem is that you don't get the ability to have human moments. If you're on a presentation or a discussion like this, you're not able to gauge the body language of the other person on the other end. You're interacting with the face. You're not interacting with the entire person. You don't get that friendly gesture, a tap on the back, things which actually make that connect for us as humans. Those aspects are missing if you're constantly working from home. So when people come back to office now, will it be a workspace? The conversation's now moving from it being a workspace to a culture space. And I'm glad that there were a number of conversations that came up this morning which spoke about culture and how important it is for a small organization to a large organization, and how culture building is innate culture building, and then withholding that culture within the firm is important. And I think for startups, it's even more important, because at the initial stage, the culture that you build, the culture that you're able to showcase to employees, to potential investors, to potential employees, that then breeds what kind of organization you build at the end of the day. So it is going to be a culture space. Work will be done incidentally, but culture will be built at an office. Now, this is a typical design strategy or thinking that goes into building an office space. You look at the functional requirements, you look at technology, personalization, how do you add that layer to take care of how people are feeling within that space, and then you put a layer of vision and the goals that the office needs to serve to bring in the aspects of culture. Now, post the pandemic, the whole theory is reversed, in the sense that the first layer that you look at is culture, where you try and sit and analyze as to what do you want the space to convey, what should people feel when they come into the space, how should they behave with each other, and what should they absorb as a bigger purpose of the organization before they start working on their systems on any given day. And then you think about how personalization can be brought into the space. So not just physical personalization, because today's times people will work from home at certain points in time. So gone are the days when you would have a dedicated desk for yourself at office. So if that's not there, then it has to be a physical and digital personalization. How you move through the space by marrying the physical and digital means to make sure that every person in that space feels important, And there is a level of personalization for every person to feel important or to feel part of the organization itself. And I think then obviously the table stakes of making sure that the functional requirements are met and people are able to work easily within that space. Now, while I have some pictures here, and most of these are for larger organizations, but if you could close your eyes for a minute and think of restaurants or cafes, right? I mean, there is a favorite that each one of us might have. And there is something about that space that draws us back to that space every now and then, right? Now, I mean, a cafe or a restaurant could actually, I mean, what does it serve as a function in terms of putting the food on the table? There is a space that's there for preparation of that food. And then there is a space which is there to consume that food or beverages. However, each restaurant, each space is different, and it invokes different kinds of emotions when you enter that space itself, and that is the kind of experience that you yearn to go to again and again. It's not just the food, the ambience, the way you're treated, the whole environment that you're stepping into. Now, with that logic, any space, I mean, a restaurant or a cafe is 2,000-3,000 square feet. Some are as small as 500 square feet. You can create an ambience in a 500 square feet of a space, and you can actually create that in 500,000 of square feet as well. However, what's important is the person who's running the firm does that